you hear me okay?
That's all good.
All good. Great, awesome. Thanks for the opportunity for speaking, Donal and Graham. It's great to be here. I am normally in Cork, but I'm currently in the south of Portugal. So one of the perks, I'll talk later about teamwork when I'm doing my selling, is we get to work from anywhere. So right now I am in southern Portugal. It's a little bit too hot, not to make anyone jealous, but I am flying home on Thursday. So back to normality pretty soon. What I was hoping to do, I guess, throughout the presentation, just introduce myself a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about teamwork, remote working, and what that actually means, because I've come to realization that means a lot of different things in different companies. And then I guess I have to focus a little bit on recruitment. And as a caveat into that, I work on the recruitment or the talent acquisition team for teamwork. So predominantly I'm focused on engineering and product. So when I say engineering, I mean software development, DevOps, QA testing, all of the above. And in product, it's product management, product design, UX research, all that sort of stuff as well. As you can see there, I'm normally in Cork and Ballincollig. We do have an office in Blackpool. I might make it in once every 2 or 3 weeks if I need to get out of the house, but generally I'm pretty much full-time remote. My contact details are below. I'm sure that they will be shared anyway. And I can share the presentation afterwards with Donal. If he wants to distribute it to people, feel free and go ahead. And always looking to connect with people on LinkedIn. Just search TJ Leahy, you'll find me there. Right, so I spend most of my working life talking about teamwork and the story of teamwork. And we were founded in 2007 by 2 entrepreneurs, Dan Mackey and Peter Coppinger. For those of you that don't know anything about teamwork, we're, I guess, a software development company. We develop project management software, our collaboration software. We have 6 offices headquartered in Cork. We've 300 people growing. I think that's closer to 330 people now. And we're remote friendly. And I'll talk a little bit about what that means later in the presentation. In terms of our mission, we're on a mission to become the best project management platform for client services teams everywhere. So what that means is we develop, we build, market, sell, support SaaS project management software to customers all over the world. Our niche is probably customers from 10 to 300 employees. So it's kind of small to medium-sized businesses. And ultimately it's for them to be able to manage their workloads, so they can go and, if they've typically we're aimed at agencies, so marketing agencies, web development, web design agencies. So companies who outsource people to other companies to do work so they can time track, invoice, bill loggable hours, all of the above and so much more. Teamwork's platform will be able to do that for you. So a little bit of our mission, I'm gonna share a quick video here and hopefully you guys can hear it. This is Dan on the left and Peter on the right. I'm gonna go big screen.
Hi, I'm Dan. And I'm Peter. And we're the founders of Teamwork. And Teamwork is used by over 20,000 companies around the world to be efficient, organized, and profitable. Teamwork is especially loved by agency and service type businesses.
That's why we built Teamwork. We ran an agency for 10 years and we understand the challenges involved in delivering client projects. There are files missing, you don't bill your time, people are screaming for work, nobody knows what to do.
There was no other software out there, and we tried them all. They were either too simple or too complex, and they certainly weren't built for agencies.
And we used to have a rule: if it wasn't on Teamwork, it didn't exist. And it really helped us scale our agency when we were able to bring our clients into the project and they knew exactly what was going on at any moment in time.
That's why we have a fantastic feature in Teamwork where your customers can access Teamwork completely for free. And we do this so that you can work closely with them, they can see exactly what's going on in the projects, and you can collaborate to get the projects closed faster.
And with Teamwork central to how you run your business, it's important that it works with the tools you already use, from time tracking tools to invoicing tools, communication tools. Teamwork integrates beautifully with them all.
Teamwork will help you deliver results for your clients and get projects done. Beyond that, our vision for Teamwork is much more. Teamwork will expand into a full platform that will help you get the customer, deliver the work for the customer, support the work for the customer, document internally and externally everything around that, and also manage all the collaboration.
Built for agencies, by an agency.
Teamwork is your platform.
All right, let me jump out of that really quickly. So the story I guess I love to tell when I'm speaking to people, Peter and Dan are two co-owners, started the company out of frustration. Really, they were building websites for pharmaceutical companies 20 years ago in Cork, and they were really frustrated with the product that they were using at the time. And then every Friday they decided, okay, we're not going to do client work, we're going to build our own product to help us become a little bit more organized. And that's how Teamwork initially began. That was the nexus of it, and then it developed into something a lot bigger, with 330 people in the organization today. Peter and Dan just touched on it there, but okay, Teamwork is the name of the company. It's also the name of our core product, and there are add-ons then that allow services firms to scale and delight clients. So we've got Chat, which is, and by the way, Teamwork employees use all of the software every day, and I'll talk about it later. This kind of, I guess, goal of kind of dog fooding, where we try and use our products. Well, we do use our products as much as possible. So Teamwork Chat is an instant messaging tool. It's got video calls included. We've got Docs Plus for kind of collaboration, kind of fancy Google Docs. We've got a CRM software and a help desk software as well. So I better talk a little bit about our culture and values. Peter and Dan talk about these at every single event that we have and every single all hands meeting that we have as well. And they're really tied into everything that we do and how we recruit too. So, Teamwork is obviously one of the core values that we have. It has to be the name of the company. So we strive to practice what we preach, keeping our values at the core of everything that we do, from communication to collaboration. We believe that teams and people thrive when they're part of an open, inclusive, and diverse workplace. So those are our 6 core values. I won't jump into all of them, but I think the one that kind of we look at these every single day, but putting our customers first is probably the one I hear the most about from Peter and Dan all the time. And like a great example of that is if there's ever an issue, just because I don't work in customer support, I have the freedom, flexibility, if I have the knowledge, to be able to jump in and help out a customer if there's ever an issue. So there's that collaboration there to make sure the customers are always being served as quickly and timely and a route as possible, and also that it's not robotic. It's got a bit of personality when we're dealing with our customers as well. So again, a little bit more about the working environment. The Teamwork is a place to bring your whole self to work, regardless of your background, ethnicity, orientation, and beliefs. We want to celebrate diversity, have it become an integral to how we operate, an open environment where everyone feels that their contribution is welcome and heard. And obviously, I'm assuming everyone on the call has heard of all these studies. A more diverse workforce is a workforce with broader knowledge, experience, skills, perspectives, and ways of working. So in other words, more diverse workforce will deliver better work for any company. So our people, our customers are all over the world. And so are Teamwork's employees. I have a slide later in this that outlines kind of where people are specifically. We are a Cork headquartered company, so most of our people are in Ireland, but over the last 5 years, we've probably started to add more and more people. We've realized we can't find all of our software engineers and our sales people and our customer support people in Cork. It's a little bit small, so we've branched out, and we have entities and payroll entities and people in, I think it's 18 or 19 different countries around the world. So we all have the opportunity to work remotely, as I am today. So normally based in Cork, work in Portugal. We have people working in exotic locations such as Spain, South America, Limerick for extended periods. And it really is such an amazing opportunity that hasn't been around for that long, where people can go and explore different parts of the world while still holding down a full-time job, right? I know it's becoming more and more possible as companies become more remote friendly, but Teamwork hopefully is part of that charge as well. So specifically within Europe, we've 7 countries where we try and hire people as much as possible, but people can move obviously within these countries and outside of these countries as well. But Ireland, the UK, Spain, Poland, Bulgaria, Germany, and Netherlands, where most of our employees are. And now we're building out, I guess, a bigger workforce in North America and Canada. We have a huge amount of customers in the States, so we want to be time zone wise. It makes a little bit of sense to have a few more people based over there as well. So in those entities I mentioned above, all those people are on payroll, but we do use a software called Oyster. There's so many options like Boundless, Deal, Globalization Partners. I feel like I got to mention them all now, to be fair. But all of these, PEOs, we're a global employment organization. You can hire people anywhere in the world, and they will manage, all of the legalities, the taxes, all the HR stuff is managed by that organization. So I think there's a slide coming up outlining, okay, asynchronous working. So that's asynchronous work refers to the practice of working in a team that does not require all members to be online simultaneously. So when you work asynchronously, individuals can maximize their productivity without waiting for others to complete tasks. And that's how teamwork has been for years. People on my team are not all in the same location, not all in the same time zones. And I think more and more companies are hopefully moving this way. And the ability to do that, means that people, get their work done whenever, wherever they want. So I mentioned dog fooding, eating our own dog food earlier, is hopefully a well-known term. So we use our products every single day. Teamwork to manage, for example, my role Teamwork is integral to manage our recruitment and our pipeline and our processes. Teamwork chat is for internal communication. So a lot of you guys probably use Slack, or WhatsApp is probably more of a personal use, but just to give you an idea of what it's like. It's our instant messaging application. That's how we keep in touch with each other on a daily basis. At Teamwork, we have flexibility to work how you want, when you want. We expect people to work 37.5 hours a week. And in general, we don't care if that's 2 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the day. You have a lot of flexibility as to when you start and when you finish. Obviously, some roles, when it comes to support, for example, or sales, there needs to be a little bit more, less flexibility, I guess, on the times that people can start and finish. But in general, the vast majority of people in Teamwork have huge flexibility over their working hours. Working from home is a given. Holidays, 30 days is quite a nice benefit to have, plus your public holidays as well. So that's 40 days of leave every year, which is really nice. And you can probably guess, hopefully by my demeanor, that it is quite a relaxed, informal work environment. It's not a bank, not that there's anything wrong working in a bank, but it's exactly what you think it is from the outside, hopefully. In terms of our benefits for employees and what we offer, so outside of the financial benefits, we've employee share ownership scheme. Teamwork is private, but Peter and Dan have given 10% of the organization away to the employees, which is an incredible generous gesture, and any new employee becomes part of that from day one of the company. We've protection benefits, the benefits no one ever wants to use, but they're there as peace of mind for life assurance and income continuance protection. And we also have retirement benefits as well. So for people planning to retire at 65 or 66 or 67, whatever age it's going to be by the time we get there, we've a contributory pension as well. So those are a lot of the remuneration benefits. We also have health insurance. We have free gym membership. So everybody who joins the company gets gym membership, gym classes, 400 euros per year. Yet to use mine in 5 years, but I will get there eventually. Education and conference allowance is actually a really nice one, and I have used this. You get 1,400 euros every year towards going to a conference or getting certified or doing a master's in something. So I did a master's in HR recently, and I used this over a couple of years, which really helped the financial burden of doing a part-time master's as well. And then for continuous learning, every employee gets access to LinkedIn Learning, which is a database of online learning videos. It covers everything from the soft skills to hard skills to learning how to play the guitar to coding. It's got everything in there. The social benefits, there's a star beside it because we probably aren't doing those as much as we would have. But catered lunches are normally on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we have pizza Fridays as well. But obviously because of COVID and because everyone's sort of remote now, those are a little bit more ad hoc. So I have this video loaded, hopefully it plays and you guys can hear it. So this is our office in Blackpool.
Hey everyone, welcome to Teamwork. Come on away in.
Hi, I'm Kate and I'm part of the pre-sales team here at Teamwork. Within the sales organisation, we have 38 employees, split across sales development reps, international inside sales reps and US reps. My typical day consists of speaking to all of our customers, identifying their challenges and see how Teamwork can bring value to their business. I've worked at Teamwork for 3 years. I studied business information systems in college, and the thing that I like most about working in Teamwork is having the ability to work with my colleagues around the globe.
Hi, I'm Kelly and I'm a mobile software tester here at Teamwork. Our testing team consists of 10 people who work across our different products with their different development teams. My main day-to-day responsibilities are working with our mobile team who are based across the world, testing the new fixes and features on our mobile apps and ensuring quality for our customers. I started working with Teamwork almost 5 years ago, straight after college, where I studied business information systems in UCC. I'm currently based in our Cork office in Blackpool, but due to recent circumstances, a lot of us are working from home. So our best way to communicate is through video call. Hey, Tanya. Oh no, I'm on mute.
Hi, I'm Tanya. I'm a software development intern here at Teamwork. I work with an amazing team of people and together we build our platform. I'm going to be with Teamwork for 8 months and then I go back to college to complete the final year of my bachelor's degree in software development at NTU Cork. I went to Presentation Secondary School in Mitchelstown. My favorite thing about working in Teamwork is that I love having a voice. Each one of us gets the opportunity to share our unique ideas and the whole team works together to make them happen. I also love having a flexible work environment.
Hiya, I'm Laura. I'm a team lead for the support team in Belfast and I manage a team of 7. One of the best things about my role is collaborating with different teams to continually improve our customer experience. And being on the front line, it's really rewarding to see how these improvements really help our customers day to day. I went to Queen's University Belfast and before Teamwork, the majority of my work experience was in hospitality management. It's completely different. And I love that at Teamwork, good ideas can come from anywhere, so you really can make a big impact.
Hiya, I'm Jo. I work in the operations team here in Teamwork and there's 6 of us on the team. My main responsibilities here would include looking after the offices. So we have 3 main offices in Cork and we have 1 in Belfast, while also looking after all our remotes all over the world from America to Australia. I've been working in Teamwork for 4 years. I studied business in Waterford and I just love working here.
But it's not all about work. We have an amazing space to kick back and relax with our colleagues, especially when things go back to normal.
From team building activities to company-wide events and fun nights out.
There's a place for everyone at Teamwork, regardless of their background.
Not only do we have multiple teams of talented developers,
But we also have teams in marketing, sales, support, finance, and testing.
But the one thing each team does have in common
is the aim to build a solution that solves problems.
All right.
Hey, Galvi.
I'll pause that before something else plays. Here we go. Back to the slideshow.
Hey everyone.
Oh. So I got to talk about recruitment, a little bit of the sell. Hopefully some of this has already been a sell to some people on the call already. Or if you're watching it later, hopefully it is. Teamwork is a product company. So as it was mentioned, I think by Kelly in the video that we've just seen, we're a product company. We've every function and role you can imagine, from the back office roles, you know, in administration, finance, HR, to your more technical roles in software engineering, product management, product design, customer facing roles in support, sales, marketing, customer success. You can check out our careers page. It's teamwork.com/careers, or just Google Teamwork Careers and I'm sure it'll pop up. To put it, you know, I speak to a lot of people these days and I'm hearing horror stories about interviews taking 12 weeks and having 9 stages. We try and keep interviewing and hiring as simple as possible. We want to hire the best people. So in general, there's a 5-stage process from application right through to getting the offer into your hands. So it's relatively stress-free, I would say, particularly the call with the recruiter. I think it's really nice. Might be biased. Teamwork don't require a university degree. I know you heard in that video, a lot of people went to CIT or to MTU, I should say, to UCC, to Queen's, Quite often experience trumps education. For any of the technical people listening to this, from an engineering perspective, we use Golang on our backend API language, and we use Vue.js on the front end. And everything cloud DevOps we use is AWS, Kubernetes, Terraform, all that sort of stuff. For designers, we have both visual and user experience people. What I like to say to people, portfolio full of visual brilliance or user experience flows often goes quite a long way. And then customer support, customer success, sales, HR, recruitment. Quite often, it's about attitude, it's about experience, experience, interest in the area, work ethic, sense of excellence over qualifications any day of the week. Any of those technology things I've mentioned above, we don't just look for Go developers or Vue.js developers or AWS for a cloud platform. It can be anything and everything. We're very much open to people's backgrounds. Outside of the more traditional routes that people can take, there is, outside of a university degree, outside of experience, I know Springboard offer free and subsidized courses at various different levels, level 5 or level 4 possibly, all the way up to level 9 to master degrees. And I've included a couple of courses there if anyone feels the desire to go and learn a bit of Python or Golang. I'm sure Donald will share this out with you guys afterwards. So I'll pause now and stop for a second.
That's great, TJ. Thanks a million. Now, if you stop sharing, then I can spotlight the two of us. I'm going to have a bit of a convo because I've got a few questions for yourself, just from community members. And really, it kind of came up there where talking about the opportunities that are with teamwork, and you can work from anywhere. And you mentioned some social benefits as well. This is something that comes up a lot when we're talking to companies. How often do you actually get into the same room with your colleagues or with your managers, either for a social or for a retreat? I saw some shenanigans there in a field somewhere. Obviously, that's really important for team building. So can you fill us in on what's the plan for? Is there quarterly kind of retreats, or how does it all work?
Yeah, so we normally have quarterly get-togethers where possible, right? It's not possible for someone to fly from Argentina every quarter, just for family situation or whatever. It might not work for them. But in general, we get together at least once a quarter, and then once a year we've got something called a Grand Council, which I believe is a Star Wars term for any Star Wars fans out there. So that's coming up in July. So everyone from the company is invited to come to Cork, and we fly people in and they stay for a week or however long they're available. And it's a week of collaboration with people that you may have only ever seen on a screen. It's a week of going to the pub. It's a week of eating good food, and just in general good fun. So that happens once a year. It hasn't happened in the last 2 years, I guess, just because of COVID restrictions. But this is our first big get together, so it's going to be a big one coming up in the middle of July.
Okay, cool. That sounds exciting, and it is something that's really important, especially for remote teams and that are used to collaborating online, used to collaborating async. But there is definitely a lot to be said for how teams are brought together, and I suppose for teamwork as your company, but then for what you do as well. It is something really useful to the whole, as the company grows as well.
Yeah, for sure. And they're obviously, everyone meets up online every day, and there's stand-ups and there's one-to-ones with your manager, and we have all of that stuff as well. You're never going to be lonely working for teamwork, but it is quite unique and nice to meet up in person as well. To someone that lives on the other side of the world, your first time meeting or your second time meeting, despite they might be your best friend, the person you talk to most in your life. So that is unique and it's nice.
Yeah, that's good. Got a question from a job seeker point of view. Do all applications for any of these roles, do all applications receive a response? And is there a way to submit a speculative job application?
Good question. So when you apply to a job, you'll get an email saying we've got your application. You will receive a response from somebody in the team. Normally we try and have an SLA of replying within 3 to 5 business days for any of those roles. And then for any of those applications, sorry, and for speculative applications, if you go to our website, there's at our careers page, you go to our open jobs, there's a section, I want to work at Teamwork. You click on that, you can submit a speculative CV there.
Brilliant. Maybe Graham can have a hunt for that link and might pop it in for everybody on the call here. Thank you. Got a question from L or EI. Is it possible to apply for more than one role at Teamwork?
Absolutely. It's a relatively small team in the recruitment team. There's me and two others and our manager. So we keep an open mind when someone applies in that, hey, this person would be a really good fit in customer success or in sales or in software development, whatever it is. So you can apply for as many roles as you like. And when the recruiter has that first conversation with you, you kind of go through then your skill sets, you go through your interests, and kind of at that point then you probably make a decision at that point, okay, this role is my preference or that role is my preference at that point.
Cool. So there's quite a bit of a conversation there. It's open for talking through it.
Absolutely. Brilliant.
And thanks, Graham, for posting that. I want to work here, or I want to work there, but the link is in there on teamwork.com. Thanks, Graham. We heard from Laura in Belfast, who was talking about her background in hospitality and then entered into the Teamwork team. So got a question from Elva Carey. Do you usually look for experience in similar sized companies or bigger organizations? So when you're looking for people, does the size of the organization count? And she says here, or Elva says, I find a lot of places want to hire people with previous experience in larger businesses or even household name places.
I guess it depends what role you're in, what company you're applying for. With Teamwork, I actually thought it would have been maybe the opposite almost a little bit, where traditionally or historically we would have been a startup. We've kind of gone beyond that now, but when you work in startup, I'm sure everyone here is aware, it's helter skelter, you're jumping in everywhere, and that might be a different experience that you might get in, a huge organization where you're quite siloed. This is what you do 9 to 5. I'm not saying that's the experience of everybody in big companies, but in general, it really is all about, once you get your foot in the door, to me anyway, you've got your foot in the door, it's about attitude from that point forward. And I'm speaking specifically for Teamwork, it goes a huge way in the interview process.
Yeah, I got another question here actually from someone else looking for advice for a manager. So someone in management, having worked for smaller or even non-tech companies, and again goes back to Laura, who came from the hospitality background. For example, someone working in customer service, because there do seem to be a lot of jobs in tech companies requiring manager level with the experience in tech. So I think you mentioned it there, but I mean, it sounds like you do take in the whole kind of fit.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we've got roles open for software engineering managers. Obviously, they do require some sort of a technical background, but certainly not in our tech stack. For example, in that role, you're not going to be coding. You're going to be motivating, looking for any roadblocks coming up down the line. You're coaching, developing people, career developments. It's more about the soft skills than it is about the technical skills. For Laura came in as a customer support rep, and we could immediately see the potential because she had that people management experience behind her. She was a manager, within 12 months, I think, and now is a big team and is held in huge regards within the organization. So it just shows that people come from any type of background. She didn't work in tech. She was managing restaurants in Belfast and wanted a bit of a change.
Good stuff. Brilliant. Well, we all know that there's some training, a lot of learning in managing restaurants. So that's good stuff. We got another question here. What is the salary range for entry-level roles? So you had a bit of a list there of some stuff, but roughly, can you give a salary range for some of these entry-level?
For entry-level roles, I think our salaries, and it depends on the role, but I mean, we're talking anywhere from sort of 30,000 euros to 40,000 euros, which I think is probably industry standard for Cork. And again, you're talking about people coming in with very little experience, and obviously that goes up and up and up as you get experience and gain trust in the organization. So we have promotion events, I think, twice a year. We have salary reviews once a year. So there's great opportunity to climb the ladder.
yeah, good scope there for negotiation as well once you're in the door. Claire says very good in response to that salary. Can I also ask, you mentioned Cork based, but obviously with a remote workforce, people living in different jurisdictions, different countries, do the salaries alter? I mean, this is a big conversation across the remote ecosystem, across every industry. Or is Teamwork, do they have a sort of flat rate, or does it depend on where you live?
What we've been trying to do is take the salaries we pay people in Cork and reflect it in whatever location. What I'm finding as I speak to more and more people, doesn't matter where you're based. COVID has opened up the world to lots of companies to go and poach people to work in different countries. So we need to be competitive. Now, does that mean we're going to go and hire people in London City or in New York? And it might be a little bit more difficult for us to do that. But that's not to say that we don't have people in those locations. But we try and take salaries in Cork, which we think is fair because that's our headquarters, and then we roll it out then in different entities.
Cool, thank you so much. So another question, generally, how long, this is from Eleanor, how long does it take the recruitment process from start to finish? I mean, you mentioned you said sort of the amount of interviews, but what would people expect once they see the job posted?
So it does genuinely depend on the role and the time of the year. So summertime, everyone's on holiday, taking 2 weeks off, and that can put in a little bit of time into the process. But in general, I would say anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks to get everything done. Now, some roles will have tasks involved where you got to take home task and you got to prepare something and present it back. If it's, for example, a product management role, or if it's a product design role or a technical role. For other positions, it might be a little bit quicker because you don't have to put that time aside to create something to present back to the company. But 2 to 3 weeks, I hope. Then the more senior you get, the more people you have to meet. And that tends to add a little bit of time into the process, but not anything too crazy, I hope.
Okay, good. And it's interesting to know that there, depending on the role, there will be take-home elements. Certain roles mean you have particular type of people you're meeting, particular types of interviews. So it really depends. So it's worth reading the job spec in detail. And I mean, obviously people can reach out. You gave us your email. I shared the presentation there as well, guys. So you should be able to get TJ's details in there as well. But is it the kind of thing where people can maybe drop you an email or try to ask like a question if they're thinking about a role?
Absolutely, and I live on LinkedIn, so that's definitely the best place to get me. You have my email address. I will reply to both eventually, but LinkedIn is probably the quicker place. I have a very sad life on LinkedIn, but that's where I live. That's my job.
You heard it here first, folks. Thanks a million, and thanks for being available to the Grow Remote community. Really appreciate it. Elva has a question here. And we're going to finish up in about 6 minutes, guys, just to give you a heads up. Any big goals or focus for Teamwork as a company over the coming year? What's your sort of big thing coming up now before next summer?
Yeah, so we recently took on funding last year, so we've got a lot of run rate in the company, which is, we're in a great position, right? So we have financial targets that we want to hit, but our long-term goal or vision, I guess, we want to be the #1 collaboration tool within the client-facing space. So we're not competing with Microsoft or any of these huge tech giants. We've identified a niche where our customers stick with us the longest, where kind of stickiest, there's less churn. And we put a lot of work into defining our ideal customer persona. So we're focused a lot now on product-led growth. So understanding customer user behavior, use cases, why people come to Teamwork to use our product. And then obviously we've linked that then with financial goals, growing the number of subscribers that we have. From an employee perspective, 330 people, we probably will get to 400 people if I'm doing my job by the end of the year, the start of next year, hopefully. So there's a huge amount of work to be done. It's a very exciting time to join the company.
Nice one. Question here, are there any entry-level roles across various departments of Teamwork, or are they within a particular team with the opportunity to grow and progress internally? So do you take entry levels in across all departments, or is it usually like entry levels come in these 2 departments and then they can move?
Oh, I mean, historically we never took junior developers on, but this year I think we've taken 5 junior developers, people who are straight out of college or straight out of whatever they're doing and want to become a full-time programmer. So software engineering can now be added to that list, but like customer support, sales don't necessarily need the background. Customer success as well as account management, relationship management, with an element of sales to it, but it's not linked to any one department.
Okay, yeah, I think that makes sense. Another question here from Marta. She says she understands that there is flexibility in the working hours. Is part-time a possibility? Do you offer rules part-time? And when you say a flexible start and finish, how does that factor in, like in relation to part-time hours, for instance?
Sure. So flexibility, when I mentioned flexibility earlier, like most people in non-customer facing roles, don't particularly care what time you're online at or where you're at. As long as you get your work done, you're doing 37.5 hours a week. It's not going to impact the customer directly because you're not dealing with them. You're not customer facing. It's a little bit tighter for people who are customer facing. You're typically online between the hours of 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Remote working, we have a bunch of people working remotely, whether that's a 4-day week or doing half days and certain days. A bunch of people in the company who are doing that already, and it just tends to work for that team and that person, and it kind of goes on a case-by-case basis.
Okay, thank you. And another question from Claire: what type of companies use Teamwork as a platform apart from agency companies? So I know you have a big long list of clients. So, what type of companies would people be working with and working for when they join Teamwork?
So you look on our website, you'll see Disney, eBay, Adidas, Reebok. I could probably go on and on and on. So there's huge Fortune 500 companies. There's obviously our niche is probably more the small to medium sized businesses, but hey, we're not going to turn away revenue from any company, of course. But you could be working anyone from the restaurant industry. When you think about it, the software that we build is very versatile, very flexible. You can use it in any industry. There's a free version that people never need to pay for, right up to obviously a more enterprise plan. But it could surprise you. In terms of end users, then it typically tends to be a lot of project managers. That would be the big users of Teamwork, I would say.
Yeah, great. And if anybody's used it, you can really tell that it's for project management. It's got everything in terms of integration and stuff. But yeah, I think we're coming up to the end. We've got about 1.5 minutes left. So I want to say thank you so much to TJ, who's joining us from Portugal. And I want to say enjoy the rest of your stay. I was going to say enjoy the heat, but I don't know, from what you're saying, maybe you're not going to enjoy it too much.
Well, no, I think we're actually close enough to the Atlantic, so we get a little bit of a breeze in the evening. So I'm going to go down now and have a sangria, possibly.
You've earned it. We'll maybe have a sangria in solidarity. Thank you so much, Glenn. That was interesting. Thank you. And Claire says thanks very much. Thank you so much for all the questions, folks. Eleanor, thank you. Grania, thanks a million. Sandra, Neve, very informative. Yeah, great. And we'll upload this onto our YouTube, and we'll also create a blog where just take some of the main points that TJ was making, answer some of your questions in the blog as well, so you'll be able to see that on the Grow Remote website. Some people will be in touch with you on LinkedIn. Thanks, Alva. BD says thank you. Graham and Claire again, very informative. So Anyam, thanks very much. Great stuff. Thanks for being with us, folks, and we'll leave you to get your dinner or your sangria or whatever you're doing, put your kids to bed, whatever it is you're doing this evening. So all the best from myself and Graham and from the Grow Remote team.